There's already some big movement in the big money behind this election. CNBC.com's political finance reporter Brian Schwartz has the latest on fundraising for the 2024 race. Brian, what can you tell us?
Well, remember, Kelly, right before Joe Biden dropped out, there were many major donors who were telling me, publicly speaking out on how they were done helping Joe Biden the top of the ticket. And now we're hearing that many of them are coming back. Keep in mind, some of these same people who told me before that they would not come back if Biden was at the top of the ticket. Now Biden has endorsed Harris, and these people are coming back, I'm told, in droves. Let me just explain something to you in one quick detail. John Hennis, who was the national finance chair for Kamala Harris's campaign in 2020, is telling me right now that he's had more than 200 texts, calls, and emails today of people wanting to host events and make donations. I mean, that is a stunning detail as we get into this tonight about exactly what's going on here, where Kamala Harris is, frankly, their old fundraisers are coming to me and saying, look, money is coming in. They've basically just mobilized since Biden dropped out, and they're moving to raise a ton of money for the vice president as we speak. Do you hear movement behind any other potential candidate? Because, again, this is not yet a done deal, although I have to imagine the groundswell of fundraising support will go a long ways towards solidifying her as the replacement. Well, it's certainly, from what we're hearing, not every major donor is getting behind the vice president right now. Let's be very clear about that. There are people, we ran that story, just as you saw on CNBC.com, went on the record with me and said they're not jumping to help the vice president at the moment. Not everybody, that is, right? There are some people who want to see an open convention. There are some people who want to see what they're calling a mini primary. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to happen, but that is what some donors are saying, how they're looking at this right now, and are not jumping to help her at the moment. But to be fair, I feel like in the next 24 hours even, that could shift, depending on if anyone jumps in to take her on. And you would include Reid Hoffman in those ranks. I mean, that's what I understand, is that he and many others are lining up behind her. Now, you mentioned the open primary possibility, Brian, or the sort of idea that you could run a mini primary. And I'm not quite sure how that would happen, because How would you determine the cutoff for who's involved and who's not, if one of the criticisms is about selecting the candidates and not making this kind of open to a vote? Well, you still have to figure out who would be in that process to even be considered. Yeah, it's certainly a wild idea. I'm not entirely sure how it would work either at this point in time. I mean, and you're right about Reid Hoffman to that point. We're now being told that, Reid is planning to give even more to a ticket led by the vice president than he did when Biden was leading the ticket, right? And he gave $10 million this cycle to the Biden-Harris ticket. Now, with Harris at the top of the ticket, leading the way here at this point, he's basically doubling down from what we're being told on supporting her and whoever she picks as her running mate. It's a fascinating dilemma right now for donors. The donors, keep in mind, we had heard the other day, we're calling on members of Congress to try to speak out on Biden. Now Biden's gone. The vice president has stepped in a way to be that preferred nominee for him. And some of them are still not satisfied. So, it is going to be interesting how this goes. But keep in mind, too, the vice president's campaign now has raised over $25 million via ActBlue, which is the online donation system, according to the company. They put that out on a social media post recently. So they're doing quite well, even without some donors jumping on board at this time.